the welfare of our community, Lord. We thank you for the wonderful graduation that we had yesterday, Lord. Young hearts and young minds having the opportunity to be able to go out after they've experienced Miss Sinawat to the fullest, Lord. So we thank you for that, Lord. Just guide us tonight. Lord, also special hedge of protection upon those servicemen and women who continue to put themselves in harm's way and say, we won't be hurt. And we thank them for that, Lord. We ask you to bring them home safely to their families. Watch over, guide, and protect them, Lord. We love you, and we thank you for all you continue to do. In your most precious name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Cunningham.
You're most welcome, sir.
Item number 3, public comments. Nobody here. Number 4, minutes, including executive session.
Mr. President, I make a motion to approve the executive session minutes and certifications as presented.
I'll second.
Okay, motion made by Chris Cunningham, second by Conrad Herrera. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 5, project hearing and second preliminary determination hearing for 2025A lease elementary project.
That's us. I'll let you start.
You want a drum roll?
Gosh, you guys are gonna be bored to death. I apologize. All right. Okay, so this item on the agenda is for the board to hold a project and preliminary hearing on proposed bond projects. If you're interested in speaking at the hearing, please make sure you sign the sign-in sheet, which should include your name and address. After a presentation by the administration and its advisors, there will be an opportunity for the public to make comments about the projects. At the hearing, we will ask that each person limit their comments to 3 minutes and that the topic be limited to the proposed project under consideration. The notice of preliminary determination hearing was published as legally required. The first preliminary determination hearing was held on May 19, 2025. At this time, I will ask Jeremy Fuel to explain the purpose of this hearing.
Pursuant to Indiana Code 20-26-7-37, before a school corporation may spend more than $1 million to build, repair, or alter a school building that will be financed by a lease or bonds, it must hold a public hearing at which explanations of the potential value of the project to school corporation and community are given. Pursuant to Indiana Code 6-1.1-20-3.5, a school corporation must hold 2 public hearings and adopt a resolution to preliminarily determine to issue bonds or enter a lease for a project which has a total project cost in excess of certain thresholds, or if the school corporation has a debt service fund tax rate above a certain amount. These public hearings and the considerations of resolutions are the very beginning of the legal process. The resolutions presented at this meeting establish the maximum financial terms for the proposed project.
Okay, we will now hear from Mr. Fuel again about the process of determining and communicating the projects to the community and the needs for the projects.
Mrs. Sinawat Community Schools has reached a critical point where deferred maintenance across all district facilities must be addressed to ensure safety, functionality, and supportive learning environment. Years of postponed capital investment, primarily due to limited funding and competing priorities, have resulted in significant infrastructure challenges that now demand immediate action. Key areas requiring attention include outdated safety and security systems, deteriorating asphalt and roofing, aging HVAC and mechanical systems, inadequate playground structures, and outdated interior spaces that limit instructional flexibility and student engagement. The need for this project stems not only from the routine wear and tear, but also from the evolving educational expectations and safety standards. Learning environments must support 21st century instructional practices, and current facility conditions are falling short of that standard. Security upgrades are vital in today's climate, and mechanical and structural deficiencies pose long-term cost and operational risk if left unaddressed. Although not required by statute, it is important to note the extensive history and process that brought us to this juncture. Over the past several years, district leadership has conducted facility audits, collaborated with architects and engineers, and engaged the school board in long-term planning efforts. These efforts included reviewing cost-benefit analysis, identifying priority areas, ensuring alignment with our district's academic and operational goals. The proposed project is the culmination of these planning stages aimed at creating safe, efficient, and modernized facilities that reflect our commitment to student success.
Okay. And then Mr. Fuel will now tell us about how the proposed projects meet the needs as just described.
So Mississauga Community Schools is launching a comprehensive capital improvement initiative to address longstanding deferred maintenance and modernize its educational infrastructure. This strategic investment will enhance safety, efficiency, and academic effectiveness across all district facilities. A summary of the key project areas include safety and security enhancements. Upgrades will include secure vestibules, access control systems, modern door hardware, expanded surveillance coverage to meet evolving safety expectations and protect students and staff. Also included is site and surface improvements, such as asphalt replacement and resurfacing of parking lots, drives, walkways, which will improve safety, traffic flow, and long-term maintenance costs. New site lighting and signage may also be included. Also included could be or will be roofing and building envelope repairs. Roofing replacements across multiple structures will protect facilities from water intrusion, reduce energy inefficiencies, and preserve structural integrity. Mechanical systems upgrades such as HVAC, plumbing, electrical systems updates will improve indoor air quality, climate control, and energy efficiency, supporting both health and operational cost savings. Playground and outdoor learning enhancements will include improvements to playground equipment, site layouts, which will support inclusive playground, outdoor learning, and physical development for elementary students. Interior renovations for academic and operational needs. The interior spaces will be modernized to promote flexible learning environments, address overutilization or underutilization, and improve the overall functionality of educational and administrative areas. The construction timeline, these projects will be phased over a multi-year period beginning in the spring of 2026. Work will be coordinated to minimize disruption to instruction and maximize efficiency across sites.
Now we will hear from Baker Tilly and Steeple about how the proposed projects will be financed, as well as information about the effects on a typical property taxpayer.
Good evening, Luke Bergman with Steeple. We serve as bond underwriter as part of the financing team of Baker Tilly and Ice Miller. This is the exact same presentation that we walked through a couple of weeks ago. The only difference is the parameters on the back page will be set forth in the regulations that will be in front of you tonight. So if you look to the first page, that is the school corporation outstanding debt payments. That's the first thing that we always start with anytime we're structuring a new bond payment. So you'll see from 2025 to 2026, we have some debt falling off. Again, in 28 and 2030, as you have some current debt retiring. If you flip to the next page, that is just your current debt service fund tax levy projections, which is essentially your current debt payments and also factoring in some miscellaneous revenue and the cash balance that you have on hand in your debt service fund. You'll see that it looks extremely familiar to the prior page. When we're looking at breaking out this project right now, the total authorization would be for $28,560,000. This is going to be authorized as one project. The school would remain completely in control and with the flexibility of the timing of this bond issue. You could issue this over one or multiple series as you see fit from a construction standpoint and a need standpoint. On the right, in that top right box is just a hypothetical kind of initial discussions with what we've had, which would be a $5 million borrowing in 2025, cost of issuance of $175,000, leaving project fund dollars of $4,825,000. In 2027, that would be the remaining authorization. Again, you could split that up as needed, as you see fit. But right now, that would be a total borrowing of $23,560,000. Cost of issuance, you'll see there, capitalized interest in a project fund net would be $22,580,000. Capitalized interest, as we talked about a couple of weeks ago, is probably the one term that a lot of people aren't familiar with. Essentially, if you have enough room in your levy for a $400,000 interest payment, but a bondholder is due $1 million, we would essentially take bond proceeds to pay that bondholder the additional $600,000 that they're owed. It's a common financing practice that we use in Indiana. If we do split this up into multiple series, that's a way that we could drive that number down and get more dollars towards the hard and soft project costs. So in total, that would be, as you'll see in the pie chart on the left, a total project fund of $27,405,000, capitalized interest of $609,000, and then cost of issuance of $545,000 for a total borrowing of $28,560,000. And on the next slide is how we would propose fitting this into the current debt service levy. In gray, then, is the current debt service levy that you saw on the previous page. In blue would be that $5 million authorization in 25. In green would be coming back to issue the remaining. You'll see that the ask that you're asking the taxpayer for in a dollar amount is no more in 26, 27, or beyond than what it is in 2025. So what you're asking the taxpayer for with this project remains at or below the levels that they are currently paying their 2025 debt service fund. On the last page is the maximum legal parameters. One thing to keep in mind here, these are maximum parameters. We can always come down from these numbers once they're set, but once they are set, we cannot go above them. So these are set up to provide the school corporation with flexibility going forward, knowing that this may be issued over multiple series. The maximum par amount again is $28,560,000. You'll see the breakdown again between capitalized interest and cost of issuance total, $1,155,000, leaving hard and soft project costs of $27,405,000. Estimated interest rates of 2 to 6%. If we sold bonds today, it would be around 4%. Again, this is the initial part of the legal process, so we do like to keep a broad range there. The maximum term of the bonds would be 20 years per series. We can always go shorter than that, but that would be the maximum. The estimated interest cost would be $17,583,000 and $42, with the maximum being just under $24,700,000. The maximum annual payment of $3 million. That's simply the maximum that you can make for this authorization in any given year out at any time. As we showed in the previous charts, this will be no increase over your current debt service levy. I think that's the most important piece here, and that's what's in bold there on that last table. There's a couple other ratios that you'll see that'll be in your resolution tonight. The first one is simply the school corporation's max payments as a percentage of your net assessed value. That's 0.85%. The direct and overlapping debt as a percentage of your net assessed value of 14.09%. That's simply looking at all of the other municipal entities' property tax backed debt as well, dividing it by your net assessed value. So that's factoring in the county, school, town, library, everyone's property tax backed debt as a percentage of your net assessed value. So all of these numbers, again, I know we went through them a couple of weeks ago. These will be in the resolutions tonight. But that's all I have. I'm happy to answer any questions that the board or administration may have.
Questions?
I asked all mine last time.
Thank you. Thank you.
No comment.
No.
Nope. We can skip that section.
Okay, Jeremy, would you please summarize the project resolution?
Yeah, the project resolution is required when a school corporation is planning to finance more than $1 million on a given facility or type of work. It contains the estimated hard and soft construction cost and the cost of issuance, and establishes the total project cost. It also contains the estimated tax impact.
All right, could I have a motion and a second to adopt the project resolution?
Mr. President, I make a motion to adopt the project resolution.
I'll second. All right, motion made by Kyle Speakman, second by Jarrett Richards. Any discussion, questions? If not, all those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution passes. Jeremy, could you please summarize, bless you, thanks, summarize the preliminary determination resolution?
The preliminary determination resolution is required when a school is planning to finance more than a certain amount for a given facility. It contains the total project cost, maximum annual payment, and lease term, and other financial terms such as the estimated principal amount and tax impact.
have a motion and a second to adopt the preliminary determination resolution.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion to approve the adoption of the preliminary determination resolution as presented.
Second.
Motion made by Conrad Herrera, second by Mike Crouch. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution passes. Jeremy, could you please summarize the reimbursement resolution?
The next resolution is a reimbursement resolution relating to the financing of the construction project. This resolution permits the school corporation to reimburse itself from bond proceeds for any cash which it might spend on a project prior to the closing on the bonds. It is required by federal tax law in order to preserve the school corporation's ability to reimburse itself.
I get a motion and a second to adopt the reimbursement resolution. Mr. President, Mr. Cunningham.
I make a motion to adopt the reimbursement resolution as presented.
I'll send
Motion made by Chris Cunningham, second by Sue Miller. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution passes. That it?
That's it on that one.
You guys still with us? All right.
Luke, let's head out. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for coming. Appreciate the work.
Thank you.
So where are we at now on the?
Nine.
All right, recommendation to approve Verkada cameras and installation proposal.
Yes, at this time, our administrative team would like to recommend approval of Verkada cameras and installation proposal. Just some things I want to note to the board prior to, because we got some updated quotes today that we sent to you guys. The original camera quote from Lucidia for the Verkada cameras did not include cameras for RJB. So when we talked about that a couple of weeks ago, we went back and reviewed that and got an updated quote from them. That original quote that did not include cameras for RJB did have an alarm system. That total price was right around $538,000 without the labor installation piece of that. So we went back to Lucidia, got some updated quotes to include 15 additional cameras at RJ Basket. Along with that, we felt that we needed to remove the alarm system. Then felt that the price really met the needs that we needed with that. The cameras are more beneficial to us. So we've added 15 cameras to RJ Basket for entrance and exit points, cafeteria, all the restrooms, which will be synced to the vape sensors and other hotspots in RJ Basket as well. This updated camera quote is $523,505.86 for cameras, $2,232.54 for door controllers, $17,075 for command provisioning, configuration training for 194 total cameras, and 20 of the environmental or vape sensors. The labor cost is a total of $45,385, but that does not include the labor for RJ Basket. Since we came back late for that, we're anticipating that labor cost will go up about an additional $10,000 to $15,000 for the labor at RJ Basket, but we just don't have that quote ready tonight. We are recommending approval of the Verkada security system and upgrades at all buildings, which includes RJ Basket as well, with the knowledge that we're going to have an additional labor cost of approximately $10,000 to $15,000 for the RJB. This will be paid out of rainy day funds, which with what we just passed with the reimbursement will allow us to reimburse ourselves out of this bond once we authorize or issue those bonds come December timeframe of 2025. So we'll have that money back in our bank account January, February timeframe of 26. And that work's going to start, if approved tonight, that work will start this summer and hopefully have a bulk of it done, ready to go by the start of next school year. And those cameras are state-of-the-art systems, AI detection. We can do a lot with those cameras, which will enhance student and staff safety.
Quick point of clarification, the cameras, there are no cameras in the restroom, they're outside the restroom.
Yes.
They tie to the vape
Yes.
sensors, so we can then determine vape sensor goes off, the camera will pick up who comes and who's coming and going.
Yes. No cameras in the restroom.
There are no cameras in the restroom.
Thank you.
All right, what's the board's pleasure?
Mr. President,
Mr. Richards?
I'd like to make a motion. Make a motion to recommend and approve the Verkada cameras and installation proposal as presented.
Second.
Motion made by Jared Richards, second by Mike Crouch.
That's an enthusiastic second.
Noted. I got it noted.
All those in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 10, first reading, school board policies.
Yeah, before we get going, I think Steve Jeffries is going to do a cartwheel for you guys, so.
Just do the cartwheel, man.
I did
Yeah.
talk, you made a mix of this. I did talk to Brian Keishaw about systems you guys have at the courthouse. Got a little extra feedback from him. So,
Yeah.
we're excited.
Yeah.
That facial recognition is you're gonna be ecstatic. when you see
Yeah.
that. That does a great job.
Yeah. So I'll go on. So first reading of school board policies. Mr. President, we have included 10 policies for the board's review. Please let me know if you have any questions as you review them. We will do a second reading and approval of these policies at the next board meeting.
Item 11, second reading of school
Yeah, Mr.
policies.
Mr. President, we recommend approval of these previously read 37 policies as presented.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion that we approve the second reading of the school board policies as presented.
Second.
Motion made by Susan Miller, second by Kyle Speakman. All those in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 12, overnight field trip request.
Mr. President, we have the following overnight field trip requests for your consideration this evening. Destiny Wyckoff and 8 high school students to attend FFA Leadership Center Officers Retreat, June 30th through July 2nd. This trip will increase student knowledge of FFA and their leadership skills. Permission slips will be on file. We recommend approval of this overnight field trip as request as presented.
Mr. President,
Mr. Richards.
make a motion to approve the overnight field trip as requested.
Second.
Mr. Kyle?
Yeah.
Okay, motion made by Jared Richards, second by Kyle Speakman. All those in favor, signify by aye. Opposed? Conference requests.
Mr. President, we have the following conference requests for your consideration this evening. Hannah Arbogast to attend the AP TIP Conference in Indianapolis, July 9th and 10th at a total cost of $112 plus lodging to be paid from the high school travel account. We recommend approval of this conference request as presented.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion we approve the policy.
I'll second.
Okay, motion made by Susan Miller, second by Conrad Herrera. All those in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Personnel.
Mr. President, we have the following personnel items for your consideration this evening. Ted Gosser, Director of Transportation and Maintenance, will retire effective June 30th, 2025. Jared Lucky will transfer to Director of Transportation, Maintenance, and Operations effective July 1st, 2025. The following people are resigning: Erica Horner, Director of Child Nutrition at Mississinawa Community Schools, effective June 30th, 2025. Josh Dakin, 8th grade boys basketball coach at RJ Basket, effective May 16th. Aaron Winsley, paraprofessional at RJ Basket, effective May 23rd. Reagan Copus, kindergarten teacher at Westview Elementary School, effective May 23rd. The following people are to be hired: Abigail Tigner, speech and language pathologist for Mississinawa Community Schools, effective at the beginning of the 25-26 school year. Owen Perkins, business teacher at Mississinawa High School, effective at the beginning of the 25-26 school year. Mason Real, boys soccer coach at Mississinawa High School, effective immediately. Owen Perkins, assistant defensive football coach, freshman football coach at Mississinawa High School, effective immediately. Blakely Stitt, math teacher at RJ Basket, effective at the beginning of the 25-26 school year. Adam Miller, head wrestling coach at RJ Basket, effective immediately. Justin Rice, 8th grade boys head basketball coach at RJ Basket, effective immediately. The 25-26 21st Century CCLC Live Program recommendations include the following: Director Brian Holland, Site Coordinator Brandon Denman, Tutor Linda Osborne, Tutor Heather Maurer, Tutor Julie Barton, Tutor Connor Cunningham, Tutor Sydney Faree, Mentor Nick Reynolds, Mentor Veronica Schmerber, halftime, Mentor Mindy Hornbuckle, halftime, Mentor Cassandra Jarvis, and Mentor Charlotte Tony. We recommend approval of these personnel items as presented.
Any comments or questions? That's a lot. No, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion to approve personnel as presented.
I'll second.
Motion made by Conrad Herrera, second by Jarrett Richards. All those in favor signify by aye. Aye. Opposed? That's it. This needs an abstention on that, please.
Mr. President,
Yes, sir.
I think we'd be remiss not to talk about that man back there that's been remiss. Ted, how many years have you had that job? 35.
Probably around 30.
Well, I think we would all agree. This guy has done an amazing job for us.
Yes.
I told him a while ago, he'll be hard to replace, and already he has a replacement, but he will be hard to replace. There we go.
Big shoes to
So,
fill.
yes,
He's got big feet.
so we know that you'll carry on in the same fervor that Ted has. I just want to thank you again for the great job I feel like you've done and mentoring our youngers.
Yeah,
So, thank you.
thank you.
Well deserved. Yep. Would you like to give us a facilities report?
Well, yeah. No, I don't have.
Take all that back.
Are you talking to me?
What's that?
Just waiting on the contractors to start moving the asphalt resurfaces, restrooms, and the softball restrooms, and football stadium, moving floors, of course, the fuel tank, the gym. So we'll stop work at the annex this summer on the south side. So just waiting on the contractors to get hold of me, just get going. So Jared has the list of everything that's gonna happen this summer, contact numbers, so Jared's ready, so it's gonna be a nice transition, so it'll be in good hands with Jared.
But you won't be far away too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I will.
I heard he was changing his phone.
They have fire pit with a blanket.
Now, Ted, can you teach him that Indian yell that you do like that? You can teach him that.
I can't do it anymore.
Oh, you can't.
Well, thank you, Ted. Appreciate it. 16 legislative update.
Yes, Mr. President. So I sent you an email today with the the ISBA provided us with the updated legislation. And then what's so nice about them, they also provide commentary. So it helps us as we develop policy. So want to thank them for that. 44 new laws pertaining to K-12. And they're all listed in the attachment that I sent you. Just to highlight a couple, House Enrolled Act 1001. It adds, which I didn't even see this in there, adds purposes related to the Stop the Bleed program and the purchase of bleeding control kits to an allowable purposes for which secure school funding matching grants may be used. Makes certain eligibility changes to On the Way, the My Way pre-K program, and the CCDF program. So Liz will probably want to look at some of those. We've already had quite a few things to talk about tonight, but it has a really nice layout of all that for you. For Jill and Jeremy and Steve, the link that I sent you, it will take you right to the bill. So if you click on the blue heading, it'll just take you right to the legislation, which is nice. So for us to look anything up, we will need to make some changes because of Senate Rolled Act 287. We'll have to talk about some changes as it relates to policy, but I'll leave that up to our fine experts we have over here to take care of that. Answer any questions you might have. I mean, if you're wanting to know how does this compare to 2 years ago, it's about the same number of bills that impacted us. It seems like more to me just because of what it is, but those I think were more language changes. These are fiscal impacts and policy impacts that I think are much more, I don't want to say detrimental, but much more effective in what's going to happen to us, and what we have to do. So that's all I got.
Okay. Thank you. Item 17, athletic corporate sponsors and donations and grants.
Yeah, Mr. President, we have the following donation for your approval this evening. Casey's General Store to Northview Prop in the amount of $11.60. We recommend approval of this donation as presented.
Congratulations, Mr. President. Mr. Richard, make a motion to accept the gracious gift.
Second.
Second, Mr. Couch. Okay, motion made by Jared Richards, second by Mike Crouch. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 18, claims 55253 to 55377.
I recommend approval of claims total $1,593,704.14.
Motion.
Mr. President,
Mr. Cunningham,
I make a motion to approve the claims as presented, 55253 through 55377 as presented.
I'll second.
motion made by Chris Cunningham, second by Conrad Herrera. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Correspondence and other business.
Yeah, so next board meeting will be held Monday, June 16th. And really the only other thing I have to say is, Ted, thank you again for all your service. I've only known you for about a year at this point in time, but it's been great and enjoy you hearing your stories. So you got a lot of them. So, so it's been good. Been good. And I wish you all the best in retirement. So if you give me your cell phone number, I won't share it with anybody else. So.
We do know where you live.
Yeah.
For now.
For now. Anyone else?
Yes, Mr. President, packed house yesterday at graduation, just an incredible class, just amazing accolades. Again, very decorated. Just want to commend Mrs. Resch and her team. I've done that. I've planned that ceremony for 10 years and it's a big bear. And I could just feel the tension as the ceremony went on, just slowly released from her. And then as soon as those little angels were out of the gym, she was back to good old Rachel again. So just a lot of hard work, certainly throughout the school year and throughout those students' careers. They should be commended, their teachers. A lot of very, very impressive things came out of the class of 2025. And we're just very grateful that our school board, our superintendent supports all the options that we provide for our students, because it truly is not happening anywhere else. It just isn't. There are bits and pieces, but what we do at Mrs. Sinowah is very unique, and we're really proud of that. So thank you, Mrs. Resch.
Very well said. Anyone else?
Global markets tomorrow at Westfield.
Okay.
It's from 4:30 to 6:30 and it's open to all. So it's on the Facebook page that said it.
Make it through yesterday, okay?
You know what? I did. I didn't think I was going to, but I did.
I'll just echo what Steve said. It's a great ceremony. And everybody puts a lot of work into it. Greatly appreciate it. And I love seeing, I've said this before, but I love seeing the interaction between the principal and the students. There's a personal connection with the hugs and all that stuff. It's just pretty special.
Mr. President, one more thing. There's a lot that goes into it from a logistical standpoint for Rachel, but the custodians, the maintenance team that basically transforms the gym into an arena with the stage, with the backdrop. And then they tear it down today, and the gym was back to regular use at noon today. So just very impressive with those guys that just went to work to get it ready, and then got right to work this morning and got it taken down. So again, just a great effort from everybody.
Because I have a little brag to share. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but this is exciting.
All right.
We are doing summer school. I read 3 summer school currently. That's a new state mandate this year that we have to offer summer school to our second grade students who are considered at-risk and did not get past that important assessment. But also we have remedial IEP through summer school for third graders who have not passed and are at risk of being retained in third grade if they don't pass or receive an exemption. For the first time in my entire career at Northview, and for as long as I can remember, our pass rate is incredibly high. We're currently sitting at 86%. Our third graders have already passed that test, with another retest at the end of summer school to go. So our teachers have taken the challenge and locked in and really worked so hard with our kids. It's incredible to see our growth in that score year after year. So our new target is 90% pass rate, and that's just an incredible number for a community of students that have backgrounds like some of ours do. They're succeeding at an incredible rate, and our interventions are working. Our teachers are working hard, and I'm so proud of them. So I'll give you another update after summer school when we get some more kids passed.
Cool. Thank you.
Awesome.
I do have one more thing.
Yes.
Our girls softball team is playing tomorrow evening, the regional softball game. It's being held at Homestead High School. It's first Dwinger, and we play at 6 o'clock. So the goal is to wake everybody up on our way home. All the fire trucks.
I love always seeing the comments on Facebook. It says, "What's going on in that? Is there a fire?" No, it's fire trucks.
That did have to come further because she's new to our. She did text Liz and I.
What's going on?
She'll get used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shut it down.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else? If not, I'll move for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Conrad Herrera, second by Crouch. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? We're adjourned.